Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a sesame noodle salad. So the first thing we're going to do is get all of our ingredients out. So you will need some noodles. I am just going to be using some ramen noodles because you don't need the flavor pack, you can just throw that out. And they only take 3 minutes to cook as opposed to like 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes that spaghetti takes to cook. And I think it also kind of fits with like the Asian style of the dish. You'll also need sesame oil, rice vinegar, lime juice, everything but the bagel seasoning. And if you don't have this, you can just use a blend of sesame seeds, garlic, and just like a pinch of salt for taste. I'm also going to be using a little squeeze of tahini. Tahini is really just like, kind of like if peanut butter was made out of sesame seeds. It's like a creamy sesame seed puree. But if you don't have this, that is fine. You can completely omit it. I've made this recipe without it before, and it's not going to make a huge difference. This will just make it a tiny bit creamier. And the last thing we'll need is our toppings or mix-ins. So this recipe is super versatile. You can use whatever kind of protein or vegetable you think would sound good in this recipe. Today I'm just going to be using what I have on hand. So a little bit of carrot, some chives, and just a handful of peanuts. Alright, let's get cooking. First thing I'm going to do is boil the noodles. So I've measured out 2 cups of water and set that to boil. If you are not using ramen noodles, then just follow the directions on the back of whatever package you are using. While we wait for the water to boil, we can start prepping the vegetables. So I just got my carrot here that I need to clean and chop. Now that the water is boiling, I'm going to go ahead and add the noodles. I'm going to toss the sauce back in. And I only need 3 minutes on the clock here. Gonna give it a little stir, break up the noodles a little bit. While that's boiling away, let's get back to our veggies. I had an idea, we'll see how it works out, but I thought it could be kind of fun for this recipe to spiralize the carrot. I've actually never tried spiralizing the carrot before, so I found my spiralizer and let's test this out. I think that the kind of noodle-like carrot would look really pretty along with the noodles. Obviously, if you don't have a spiralizer, you don't need to spiralize your vegetables. You can just dice them or chop them however you like. That is the sound of our noodles finishing up, so let's go grab those. going to go ahead and drain these out over the sink. And I'm going to give them a little rinse with some cold water just to cool the noodles down faster and to stop them from overcooking. Almost lost them there. Alright, we're gonna set this down to finish draining. I would say that they're already kind of almost room temperature, just slightly warm. So we'll let them cool down just a little bit longer. I'm going to stick the rest of this carrot in the fridge to use later in the week, and we'll just use our little spiralized bits here. Update, I found some leftover corn in the back of the fridge, so we might toss in a little of this as well. I think that sounds pretty good. Last thing I'm going to need this cutting board for is just to dice these peanuts finely. I just want it to be more of a topping, just a tiny bit of crunch rather than like an actual ingredient in the dish. Alright, I think that's about good. Let's go ahead and grab a bowl and we can start assembling our final product. Let's go ahead and throw our noodles into the bowl. Grab my little spoonchilla here. It's a little silicone spatula shaped like a spoon. These are from Ross, if you're curious, but they probably don't have them anymore. And I'm sure they sell them other places too. Alright, just gonna break up the noodles a little bit. And let's go ahead and add our veggies. I've got my spiralized carrots. And I'm gonna do a little of this corn here. Mix that in a little bit just to kind of evenly distribute everything. And then we can go ahead and start making this a little saucy. So the noodle pad that I used was 3 ounces of noodles. So you can adjust the amount of vegetables, amount of protein, and the amount of our sauce ingredients as well, just based on the amount that you're making. But I really feel like this is one of those recipes where you can kind of just do everything kind of like to taste. Just taste it and see if you think it needs a little bit more oil or a little bit more acid, or you know, whatever ratio you think tastes best. We are going to start with our oil and vinegar. So I would say the best results would be to use equal amounts of your oil and your vinegar. So I'm going to start out with maybe a tablespoon of each. that a little mix. And I think that looks about good for this amount of noodles. So I would say maybe if you have 6 ounces of noodles, you can start with 2 tablespoons of each, maybe a little less, and just kind of, you know, because you can always add more, but you can never add less. Alright, I am just going to do a healthy squeeze of lime juice. I love lime juice. Oh, this is a new bottle that needs to be opened. Let's get a clean knife here. Obviously, you can use a fresh lemon juice if you... Lemon juice. Have I been saying lemon this whole time? Lime juice. Obviously, you can use a fresh lime juice if you have fresh limes, but I am just using whatever I have on hand. Mix that up a little bit. And do a little squirt of tahini. Like I said, if you don't have tahini, that is perfectly okay. I'm doing maybe about a teaspoon. This stuff is pretty powerful, I would say, in terms of like the creaminess that it'll provide. And I'm going to go ahead and add our seasoning. So this is definitely starting to look good and smell good. So here is what we are looking at so far. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Just grab a little fork from down here. Pretty good so far. I think it could use maybe a little bit more acid. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add another little splash of the rice vinegar. And another squeeze of lime juice. I think it could also be just a little bit creamier. So I'm going to go ahead and add maybe another teaspoon of the tahini. Maybe 2 teaspoons. Treat ourselves today. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. And let's give it another taste. That was really good. I'm gonna add just another couple drops of the sesame oil. And I think we are ready to plate. Just gonna be using this dark blue bowl here. These are from Target if you guys are curious. I think they're about like 80 cents. We use these a ton. I'm just going to dump this out over onto our plate. I'm gonna put on our chopped peanuts. So if you have any nuts or any other little crunchy toppings you want to throw on top here, I could definitely see this being good with cashews as well. Or if you don't want to use nuts, you could use like fried onions or something like that. That would be really good. And we'll do a little bit of these chives. I wish that I had green onion. I think that would definitely add a little bit more color and just a little pop of freshness as well. And we're gonna finish with just one more sprinkle of this seasoning. And there we have the finished product. I would say this recipe is best when it is really cold. So I would suggest, if you can resist digging in right away, sticking it in the fridge for maybe an hour or so and then eating it. I think it is just like 5 times better. But I mean, I'm gonna eat this right now. If you try this recipe, make sure you let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you like it if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.